Welcome, Warriors, back with another episode. Doing a bunch of them today. Get my camera together as I'm driving here somewhere. I'm going to park in a second here. But welcome back to another episode on the Vigor Warriors 2 channel. And welcome to the 1% Club. And hope you guys are continually doing well, keeping on your purpose, keeping on your plan or retention, and keeping on achieving your goals. We just talked about a number of different things over the last couple days. Now I have another one of these questions that I think is great. So again, thank you. I'm going to try to get this first name right at least. Abdualrahman, thank you very much for this question. And I'm going to focus on the question he had about, well, first of all, why are people angry at me when I'm on retention? And what can I do about this, basically, is I think what he's asking. So let's focus on this a little bit. Before we do that, go ahead and just subscribe and kind of give me your comments and feedback, and let's focus on trying to do the best we can with this question. So again, here's the question we're talking about. What happens when people are angry with you? What happens with people when they're not focusing on a positive type of interaction with you, but they're focusing more on negative? So let's kind of focus on this one a little bit. Now my camera's better shape and a chance to park for a couple minutes here. All right, so when we look at this, we're kind of really focusing on the idea that people really look at you in a certain way as you are, as you're kind of growing and doing different things, and they're used to you being a certain way. When you go on retention, all of a sudden, now you're changing. You're a whole different person because now you're closer to God, in my opinion. You're also not looking at things from a materialistic viewpoint. When you go on this type of journey, you're now focusing on things being internal. And you're looking more at spiritual things. You're looking more at people as being people, not so much as objects to get like short-term gratification. And so as you're doing this more, and as you're focusing more on this, now you become a different person. And so Abdualrahman, I think the key is going to be that people are looking at you now and saying, who is this person? They may not recognize you because they see something different. They also may not like the fact that you're becoming a stronger person because you are this different person. And because you're stronger, now there's even a tint of jealousy. Both men and women, right? We're not just saying if you're male that other males are going to be jealous, because they certainly are, because maybe they were the king of the crop or the king of the group. And now here you are, one strong heck of a warrior, and now things are different. And people don't like that. Plus, they don't know why you're like this all of a sudden. And they feel like you've gotten some kind of fountain of youth or strength or some kind of secret that they don't have. And they don't realize that you're starting to control yourself. And that bothers people because a lot of people have no control at all. They've given up their control to all kinds of vices and things, thinking that I'm not going to have the strength to be able to control any of that stuff. So I don't even bother, right? So because of that, they're going to be angry with you. Now, why will women be angry? Well, some women will be angry because they see so much energy, they're so consumed by this, and it may actually turn them off. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, if you get some people who are in these movements we're talking about, I'm not going to mention the movements, but if you get some people in these movements, they are in so much anger and hatred for masculinity, and they call it toxic masculinity, that they're going to actually be angry with you. And you're going to see that. I had this a lot as I was going through different periods of time, with people that I worked with at a certain university, because they focused so much on these movements that they hated men. And because they hated men so much, they basically wanted no part of it. And so anytime there was strength, anytime there was any kind of movement of focus, they actually kind of got angry and started yelling at males. And so when you get people who dislike males or dislike females for that matter, those angry people are going to go against this strong masculine movement. And I think that's a problem with part of our society, to be honest with you. We've had too many people who've been brainwashed into becoming weak males, not taught to be strong males, and females who are taking over those strength roles because the males don't do it. There's not enough males who are alphas. There's too many betas out there. And so what ends up happening is the females are taking over those roles, and they come to really disrespect and really regret and get upset and angry with males because males are not doing what they should be doing. So I think a big part of the problem is the male population. But I also think a lot of it deals with single family parents, no fathers, no role models, and a lot of those things that males are that they need to kind of change who they are and become more masculine and more in control of themselves. The more you can control yourself, the more power you have. Now, Abdualrahman, if you get a situation like this, you're going to see, the longer you are on your journey, people are going to be mad. They're going to be angry. Now, most people will be attracted to you. Most people will respect you. But we're living in a society, guys, that masculinity is not... I hate to say this because this wasn't the case back when I was growing up in the 60s and in early 70s. That wasn't the case. I mean, masculinity was highly prized. I mean, you have people like John Wayne out there, and back when Stallone was top of the game, and Arnold Schwarzenegger, and all these people who were strength on top of strength, and all these people who were really stood for something. Rocky Marciano, you probably read the boxer. You had Muhammad Ali. You have these people were strong males, right, in our society. Well, that's changed a lot over the years because of schooling and different types of things that these people are being brainwashed that the males are supposed to become very passive, and they have. And that's why I think we struggle in a lot of different things, and why we're very similar to the Roman Empire, which crumbled from within. Because the whole idea was they were basically looking at low strength or no strength. And because of no strength, they were taken over very easily. Could that happen in the United States? Sure could. If you get to the point where the males are not strong enough and the females don't have that kind of strength, of course you can be taken over by any country. So that's why we have to kind of start going back to becoming males, forgetting about this toxic masculinity stuff, and realizing this stuff is really what protects and saves people. And down deep, women who are really not, being brainwashed with all these type of movement things, they get it. They understand they need security. They need people to protect them. They need countries to protect themselves. And that's a key type of thing. If you have that, then you have a strong country, a strong thing. But the problem we have nowadays, guys, is we don't have enough strong males, which is another reason why, I'm putting a lot of these things together on the channel, because we need strong males. And so, Abdualrahman, you're going to get criticized. You're going to get people upset because you're going against what the movement's been for the last 30, 40 years and trying to cut down the masculinity of males. And that's not going to happen to me. And I know it's not going to happen to the 1%. Now, the 99%, hopefully that changes into 2% and 3% and 10% and 20%, right? I don't want to go through all these videos 10 years from now and still say we're 1%. I'd rather have us say that we're the 99%, okay? Because the bottom line is we've got to get back to that point in society where men are men, right? Women always complain where the men are. Well, part of the reason that the men are created was because women went on these movements and went to too much of an extreme. And now men have lost their masculinity, and now they're back into that thing. And so if you're showing masculinity, if you're at the point where you're showing how strong you are, you're going to get a number of females who don't appreciate this, understand this, thinking this is wrong. And they're going to be angry. Now, what do you do about this? Well, There's not too much you can do about people who are angry, who have these preconceived notions. You're going to have to find ways to move away from them. And does that mean change friends? Sometimes it does. If it's a family member, you just have to make sure that you find enough time that you can kind of tolerate it, but move on. Do your own thing. Because the bottom line really is that you don't want something to take up your emotional energy, the vampire, right? Take up your physical energy, the succubus, and obviously take the spiritual energy as well. You don't want that to happen, okay? You want to focus on having positive types of things where you're not going to go ahead into a negative type of realm and get energy sucked away from you that way. You want to be more positive in a sense of you're going to achieve your goals on your purpose, and you're going to move ahead with things the way they should be. Okay? So again, Abdualrahman, thank you so much for the question. And guys, you've got to stay on your purpose. Don't ever lose that. No matter how many people get upset with you, stay with it, because eventually, because of the law of attraction, you're going to find people that are going to be in your life that's going to support this, and that you're going to be positive, and all of a sudden we're going to end up changing the world back, where people are going to be masculine again. Men will be men, and women will be women. There's masculine energy and there's feminine energy, and that will never change. No matter what people want to do, no matter what kind of things they want to do, that's never going to change. And the bottom line really is recognize what you have and recognize the importance you play in our world. And that's important, guys. And as you look at this, don't get fooled by society. Don't get fooled by what people are telling you. Don't get fooled by any of that stuff. Because the bottom line, what we're saying, is that we need to have strength and masculinity and be able to get those things done that need to get done as males. Okay? All right, until next time, guys, battle on.